Where do I start with that? Do you know what? I need to calm down because it is a pre-season game, the final pre-season game of the summer. But what we'll hear from Jose is, it's not my team, that's all I had to choose from. I sat and watched Scott McTominay play up front today. There was no desire from the players to even try and win the game. We had one shot all game. One. For fans coming out here to pay to watch this, even though it's a friendly, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. I know Jose's going to come with all the excuses under the sun, and he is going to say, what do you expect me to do? This was the side that I had, and then after he put McTominay on, I'm just skipping way forward. I'm just forgetting the whole first half. In the first half, the highlight of the whole first half was 2 paper aeroplanes. Yeah, not 1, 2 paper aeroplanes making it onto the pitch. I got the biggest cheer. So let's just forget the first half. Second half, you're thinking, maybe we can try and pick up the tempo slightly. When players came off and he brought McTominay on, why not bring Chong on then? Some people will say it's a big game for him and he's not ready for it. It's nonsense. He's saying that we've got kids and it's not his team. Try things. The fans aren't going to care if you try things, Jose. They will not care. Just try to play attacking football. Not just sit there for 90 minutes and let Bayern Munich dictate the whole game and not even try to force the issue. Because that's what we saw today. That's what I saw anyway. I don't know what you guys are thinking from back at home, but all I saw was I was just sitting back, happy just to let Bayern Munich. Don't get me wrong. In the first half, we defended okay at times. Eric Bailly looked strong. He comes off with an injury. Lindelof looked comfortable on the ball. Good tackles where he could, saw the ball out to safety where he could. But there was nothing going forward. Absolutely nothing. Look, I'm not going to dig out individual performances. It's pre-season. It's the last game of pre-season. And it'll be very interesting to see what some of the fans think about that. Because look, I don't want to hit Meltdown City. It's not what I'm trying to do. But what I've just seen there is unacceptable. The Wi-Fi is pretty good in there, so I was on Twitter pretty much the whole game because it was a shit game to watch. Absolute meltdown. Like rival fans bantering us. And like I said, Jose is going to come with the excuses of XYZ. We don't want to hear that. He hasn't been filling us with confidence coming into this window. And even if he doesn't get backed, which is another issue with the board about the incoming signings and lack of, he's going to sit on that. I've seen some comments that he said before the game, which is, Boateng, I'm not so sure, Ed Woodward knows what I want, I give him the list, blah, 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 blah. We've heard it all before. And there is the side of it where you are looking at it thinking, maybe the board don't trust him. Maybe the board are looking at it thinking, what about the toys I bought you last Christmas, Jose? Yeah, you played with them. There is maybe that side to that argument as well. But like I said, it's not complete fan meltdown. But I just don't think that was good enough. Yes, Bayern Munich are a strong team, and they had a very strong team on paper. A stronger team than us on paper. We know that, and we've got key players missing. I'm not saying that we're going to have a horrendous season, Jose's going to get sacked, and we're going to finish 8th. I'm not saying that. Yeah, but today, we changed the system. Jose will probably argue that we needed to because of the personnel that was available. Okay, maybe I'll take that. But when he did bring players on, if you're only going to bring McTominay on to go up front for 15 minutes, only to bring on Chon for the last 10 minutes and go up front, why? I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. The players just look disinterested. It was almost like Jose said to them, I'll tell you what, just go out there and don't get injured. I know it's pre-season and I like to give both sides of the argument. I know there's going to be people out there saying, Flex, don't worry about it. Well, it all comes down to next Friday when we play Leicester. That doesn't fill you with confidence. Even with the players that he had there, why not go for it? Nobody's going to have a go. Nobody's going to have a go at Jose Mourinho for trying to play the young players in a big game or big games for those players. No one's going to have a go. But to see Scott McTominay coming up front, that was the ultimate for me. That was when I looked at this and I thought, we're a bit of a laughing stock at the minute, And like I said, I keep repeating it. Yes, it's the final game of pre-season. And the most important thing is that we come through unscathed without injuries, which we might have done that. I don't know how Eric Bailly is. He had to come off. Hopefully that was just precautionary. We've got players to come back into the side. Obviously, Romelu Lukaku's back in training. Martial, I'm going to stick on the optimistic side that he just stayed at home because he's missed a couple of weeks training, obviously with the birth of the second child. So I don't want to believe that that's because his departure's imminent. But we've got him to come back into the side. Today we just wasn't balanced. Alexis didn't look happy, again on that left-hand side. I don't know whether it's just because he's disinterested or he just had a look at the way we were playing. He didn't look too good today. Fred, very hard to judge him today in a game where we just didn't have the ball. We didn't have the ball at all. We let Bayern Munich dominate from start to finish, and it was almost attack against defence. I'm really, really disappointed with that. Really disappointed. I'm not going to have a knee-jerk reaction. I'm really not. but I have to vent the frustrations of what I've just witnessed there. Like I said, thank God the Wi-Fi was good. Thank God the Wi-Fi was good here, because I'll tell you what, if I didn't have Twitter and social media to save me through that, I would have probably fell asleep and I would have tried to make some paper aeroplanes. Because like I said, the biggest cheers of the night, apart from when Bayern scored, obviously the home crowd made some noise, but the biggest cheer of the night was when 2 flipping aeroplanes made it to the pitch. That shouldn't be happening. We're Man United. Like, we've got to have a way of playing even when we don't have the players to do it. It's not acceptable to just stick players like McTominay up front. It's not acceptable to just say sit back and don't try. You know? I don't know. I'm going to speak to some Manchester United fans and see what they have to say about it, but from my point of view, yes, it's a pre-season friendly, but that's unacceptable, man. That's unacceptable. But I was excited coming out here, I'm not gonna lie, I was excited to actually get some football. I spent all yesterday watching Championship football just to get some football back. And I come and I see this, and the people on social media were saying, oh, you know, you must have been so bored, you know, you should have stayed at home, etc. You know, it was nice to come out here, it's been great weather, the fans have been good on both sides, you know, there's a lot of mixed seating areas, and it's been nice to come out, but Bayern Munich fans must be walking away from here thinking, I thought Man United were a good side. You know, they probably don't understand what's hit them. They probably think we're some second string Bundesliga team, or the second, whatever their second league is. They probably think we're that. Honestly, really bad. But listen, that's been my match reaction. Drop your views in the comments in the boxes below. Am I overreacting? Am I underreacting? I want to know what you guys think. Let me know. Thanks for watching.